Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here, and I'm adjusting the mic a little bit if you heard any funniness there. All right, this, of course, is welcome back to playing Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 9.11, and of course, like I said, we're playing Germany. I did get a little distracted at the start of this, so hope that all made sense. Okay, Algiers, so. Oh, we are across the river. So now, use our armor, our special purpose armor, and engineers. Go for a street battle against these colonial police and Bengal type units here. Yes, yes. And we have big jet engines advance. Is that, oh, here, okay, 44, so we don't, let's, ejection seat, well, let's do jet bomber. That's a 43, we can get that going. Okay, we've won against these guys. We will continue to have popping up of things. Maybe this would be an area to create Iberian Plain. Wow, we're gonna have to look out that just a second here. Create a AI controlled front to have them deal with it, but I just like to play. No, these ships took out 2 CLs. Wow. Though I think one or more of them may have been okay. We can't attack there. Yeah, I knew this before. Okay, you guys are all getting. Let's come back to here. Movement order. Now we still have these guys where, yeah, okay, they're still just attacking that one sea province, which is fine. Sea zone, I don't know what you want to call it, but we need to deal with those guys. Should have just invaded the Free French directly, but worrying about enemy naval power. Oh, yeah, we want to pause automatically. Okay, Mein Führer, our spies have stolen plans that let us improve our abilities in small ship classes to level 6, giving us the following benefits. All right, so let's take here. So that is just this one. Okay, so that we've jumped past some of these intermediate speeds, which I'm about ready to. You know, I guess we will right now. We have been for a short while at that. So let's just sort of neglecting some of the stuff, because, you know, research everything is maybe not the best idea, but because this will independently, as well as build time, sea defense. There isn't a negative speed thing, which there is with some other, yeah. And, you know, I might as well improve them around. Now, I guess I could ask. I was thinking about this when I was making the last episode of an interesting content, and sort of, again, I do watch the Creators Insider from YouTube. That's a YouTube basically channel for people like me. Very few creators watch the channel, meaning that the videos get like, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 views, but there's, you know, 1 million plus people creating YouTube video content. So it's small watching considered. Consider its view or creator base, you know, its video making base, and considering its viewer base, because also recently, I don't know if any of you noticed, but all the custom thumbnails went away for 0.03% of or is it 0.3? I think it's 0.3, meaning it's basically 1/3 of 1% of viewers lost the ability to see the thumbnails that I make, which I think are big attractions for people clicking on my videos. And, you know, as they probably thought, and rightly point out, that's a very small percentage of viewers, and it is. But it is also, compared to the billions of views or viewers or whatever we have per month, that's like a few million. Someone did the math, I forget, based on that. A few million viewers that didn't get to see thumbnails. So this is a huge volume of people that are dealing with YouTube here. Very much so. So even when you talk, some numbers might seem large, but it's still very small. They talk about there's doing content matching, and to either ask, you know, you can ask them to take it down, or try to do a collaboration, or just ask for attribution. One thing I've thought recently doing, just in the last week or two, actually probably last few days really, there's a couple of really nice, sort of focusing on Japan for Hearts of Iron 4 right now, and naval stuff. A couple of nice sort of walkthroughs. One of the I forget the numbers. One of a German U-boat in Germany. It's a an open museum that you can do. Someone did a nice walkthrough of that, and another one did what is it? Saywell. It's a Gato class American submarine. Did another sort of actually a little nicer setting up the camera and whatever, but it has on that one it has you hear the environmental audio, but there's no, or maybe just music. No, I think just music laid over it. But he has some captions of what you're looking at done on. You see the guy in it making it a few times, and it's a nice little presentation. I thought about not editing them, just having both of them sort of ready and watching them both, and capturing my screen while doing it, and talking about the differences internally and whatnot between the German typical I forget which type, and people, I'm not good with remembering numbers, but was it the Type 9? I don't know, or whatever. But between the typical sort of German submarine and the Gato is a typical sort of American submarine of the war, and talking about some of the differences between them that are significant differences, and thought about doing that, and I still could, because that is good. Now I can make another port, add more ports down here, just to do more in the sense of more being built at once, as opposed to just waiting for one to complete and then building another one down in Dar es Salaam. So so that we can support our panzer forces in here. Under various copyright stuff, if I'm we got another off the coast of here. Okay, now these guys, can we go? No, but we can go. I did experiment. We can do that. Don't know why we can't go on board the ship here, load them. I don't know, but we can go from one to the other into here, so we're going to do that. And hopefully with our air power. Oh well, I also sent up here. that. Let's add that there, so they're escorted. And we have another flying boat and bomber. Let's send them... we'll send them here. Hopefully that's close enough that they can reach. Is that there's, well, what, 4 legs that being able to use other people's material, at least in U.S. copyright, and that's the one I'm most concerned about. One is if you're transformative, and that goes back to the Campbell decision. It's Campbell basically versus what's his name, Andy Warhol, in which Andy Warhol made some famous posters. You've probably seen them if you subconsciously don't know what some of them, or you've seen them and you just don't maybe realize the connection. One is sort of like the Campbell soup label can, but as a big poster, and you're infringing on our copyright of our thing. And Andy Warhol argued, hey, I'm making art. I'm not, no one is buying this poster thinking that they are buying a can of soup. And so, and it's not changed or altered, though, just simply by making a big poster of it on a white background. It's transformative, and he argued successfully and did that. So by and using parts of it, not fully of everything, and there's other things, and as well as educational purposes and historical purposes, all come into play in it. So it would be not so much to even walk through all of the videos in each one, and not to take away people from watching the others, though I would attribute where I got them from. I don't know if the people would be upset on doing that, but it would be the idea of the purposes for me to comment on not just that I'm such a submarine expert, I'm not, but to like, well, this is the German one, this is the sleeping berth situation on a German submarine, and the German submarines, got to conserve lots of water. Oh, the American Gato class, it has a shower on board. Yeah, they got to conserve water and not take too long of showers. But compared to the German one, German submarine, they've got showers on board. And which I don't think, but we would be comparing obviously to looking through the other video to confirm or deny my belief currently, as it's a belief at the moment, that they don't have a shower on board a German submarine. And well, yeah, but the Germans had to operate across the Atlantic. The Americans had to operate across the Pacific, which is much larger. And the Gato was particularly, and some other American submarines, was particularly designed in the American sort of pre-war design element for the submarine was very much the Pacific and the long operational. So generally speaking, I could go to passive, and maybe that would be the better. Maybe defensive. Maybe I should go to defensive for a lot of these guys. Okay, let's see what defensive does for stances. Defensive out there like that. Okay. So yeah, generally speaking, the American submarines are larger because of that very thing, in that for food and fuel and everything else, they were, well, they're still getting there, they're almost there, was designed to sustain operations out there. And that is potentially what I'm worried about, because we don't know what that is. It looks like maybe just one ship, and if it's not that big, our air power, along with some cruiser types, which, see, we just have, why aren't we, okay, yeah, just some light cruisers and destroyers, but still reasonably good. Okay, CAG torpedo bomber focus has advanced. Very good. And yes, that one's a definite stop. For now, for probably most of the... Okay. Since we jumped up on that, we're doing those. And yeah. But I thought that might be of interest to people. Not just... Well, how do I put this? Some of my attempts at making content for more than just you guys, you know, usual viewers, have not seemed to get much play outside of you guys. Okay. Shift air power there. We'll at least do one set of strikes with these guys until they're maybe flying some more. And we're throwing in our Ascaris. And you can break this Ascari unit up. I just didn't want to give for free a bunch of artillery. You did get the heavy British artillery. I looked at that as... I know some of you already know this. The garrison guys were sort of older Ascari that I figured from the olden days, you know, World War I, that were back but weren't, you know, operating, you know, aggressively. British naval guns, as it says there, and this unit here, of course, I figured that as being well, it is, like it says, rugga if you don't know. Those were basically spear carrying guys in the earlier, not Ascari, and so I figured they would do that again. Like, oh hey, yeah, you guys aren't yet trained and good at, you know, good light, you know, Ascari infantrymen. Oh, you're just, you know, militia, you know, yeah, okay. So we got those, and since they're moving, they have the camels. So you got camels for that, for the garrison, and the main mobile force, which you can break up or keep concentrated. And yeah, probably could. I don't know if we ever will try to. Okay, what are you fighting out here? The African rifles. We need more air power. What do we got up here? Just sort of easy to find it here. For somebody who is in good shape like you guys. Come down here. We're way overtaxing this airbase. Come now. Battalion. Okay, you need to stop. Yeah, you can come back down here. You're not fully rebuilt up yet, but good enough to get operational. Okay. We've won against CV Carrier 4. Don't know who that is right offhand. And their air power. You can see 2 carriers. And since I have 2 destroyer groups, I see 6 there, so that means they've got 4 destroyers. So that's a reasonable escort. A carrier and 4 destroyers. So for carrier type operations, we were able to win. I presume partially due to, and we got a little messed up, to our air power operating. Okay, no, we don't want rare materials from you. Sorry, guys. Just looking up at the supply production. Okay. Well, we've got not quite 100 more than we need, but almost that kind of thing. Okay. Well, now that they've won up there, let's shift you to there. And maybe you there as well. another operation, took out a heavy cruiser. Okay, that air power that we're using must really be helping. Not that those four can't battle that stuff, but I'm really glad to see how much that's doing. Because normally you don't see what the air, it doesn't give you, specific what it sinks. But these are actively, these have, for those notifications, has to be one of these guys. I guess technically these guys can sink something, but, well, their sea attack is 0, so I guess not, maybe. But I'm sure they're weakened heavily by HMS. Yeah. Are these guys coming after me here? Okay. Okay, they're beat up, but they can keep operating. Going after some of these guys. We will add that to the mix. And we will add that to the mix. So hopefully if these guys are all launching to come after me, seeing the invasion of there. Well, we're sort of stuck loading and then unloading troops. Good, so we're effectively moving in. Once we get here, we've already got up here, then we cut off all the supplies coming here except for, I'm guessing it's just one through Mombasa, because we should be, well, let's see, do we have, these guys make it up to here. Okay, I want to air superiority over there. We don't have any aircraft, so that won't harm us. But it should give us a good look at their province. Okay. Oh no, they've got a lot of ports. Okay, so they got a lot more ports. That's how you do naval reconnaissance if you want. With just send over some aircraft, often bombers, and the anti-aircraft guns won't affect them. Obviously, interceptors, if they had any air power here, would have affected them significantly, but not that. Okay, and we give it no. Wanted to buy something like coal or steel. Hey, we'd sell it to you. Okay, this is risky. Okay, we're almost on board ship. Well, how are we doing out here in India? Oh, good. Looks like we're doing better here. Okay. Since we're worried about it, I think they're probably back home. Let's send these guys back to here, or over to here. Oh, they're going a long way around. Okay, well, whatever. Figured they just sort of go that way, but no, they're already sent, so they're gonna go. There would have been closer operations to go. Let's see, what are you guys? What are you bombing? Okay, you see, if these guys are coming out after me there, we're taking out that, or almost taking out that. Looks like, well, maybe we got it, or it's down here now. No, it's down here. Okay. If that comes after my relatively well organized up surface group, that will definitely not do well for them. Let's see, do I have any more? Tried to move most of my air operations out of, or naval air operations out of down here. Those guys, well, We can move them to here. They can regular bombers can strike ships very easy and very effectively. I probably should be using a lot more of them. How big is that airbase? 6, and we've got 8 units here. How many? 8 and 8 units. Well, we're overtaxing you. Probably should have been doing this. I definitely should have been doing this before. It's not a probability. It's a, well, I don't know about the heavy bombers, but we can still move them somewhere they don't attack so well. Naval vessels, I don't think. We could look at their stats. Even the tactical stuff would work, or the close air support works well too. You guys can come there. It's just they particularly I don't think can see like submarines very well at all, can find them very well at sea. Where the naval specialties. Oh, you guys should be moved west. How big and how much? Okay, that perfect size airbase for you there. And you should also be moved west. Another, there we go. We'll get on to putting a new operation soon. Yeah, I guess we'll put you up here, where the Americans are getting ready to, if Spain goes to war, to immediately start fighting. Okay, and what else? Yes, I know I can go to Bomber Command, but looking at the Bomber Command or whatever lists, oh, these guys here, oh, they definitely need to be out here. Doesn't necessarily easily show the location. Where if I'm looking for units that I very much think that are currently, whether they say they're operating or not, but are not operating in a useful zone. Okay, we are on board. I guess I could, I guess I may need to now, because, well, let's just go back to here for the moment. Ooh, we got all these guys in front of us. Well, let's continue here for the moment. Just hang out here, because we have an air superiority right there. Okay, guys. You come into there. You're not meant to go anywhere. You come into... Well, this is 2, that's 4, so they'll move faster through this province. So you come here. Oh wow, look at all that up there. Well, seeing all of that up there, why am I not getting more convoys sunk? No. You're supposed to have come down here and joined with them. That was at least my intention for them. Let's send this sub down. If they're not sending convoys through, they should start starving. Okay, there was, I guess, another throughput. Just, I have so many naval bombers striking right here. Okay. Okay, ooh, we've got the hood. Uh-oh. That isn't good, but if I'd run up north, I could run south. Well, I don't know. This may turn out to be a big disaster. Okay, you join this fight here immediately. These guys are all striking down, or preparing to strike down there. Now, not only will I maybe lose some of these guys, I could lose all those nice Jaeger divisions. Okay, it's now the Enterprise, which HMS Enterprise, don't know that ship. USS Enterprise is a carrier. Okay, well, we've lost none, and I'm sure, because we had the hood there, I'm sure my air power helped out. I don't know what that is. You start attacking there, because we're going to start moving north very soon. Rebase right up into there. We may come back and try this naval operation again, but like that province, just like you're doing. Find them and hit them. Ah, okay. Yes, the 2nd of the month. Oh, okay. This is a bug. Probably. Prevents the bloodshed mostly. I think I have the code. Frame armor units gained on the convincing title. I think that I have the code that points. One is supposed to point to the title of the event, and the other one is supposed to point to the description of the event. I think both are pointing to the description, but that is a bug. Probably saw it before, and just because I see it now. So if any of you are watching this later, you could poke me about this, and because I can't really stop right now and go in and recode this, but I can if you point this out, like when you're seeing it, because I may forget about this a few hours from now when I stop making episodes and want to change it. Okay, but basically this is Italy's lost in a lot of battles, and once armored division based on some veterans fighting under command of the East Front. What should we do here, Himmler? And this was specifically to Himmler and such. Will provide us what we need to raise an elite unit that will wreak havoc amongst the Allied lines, or no. We will do this. I wish this was better. This was an event provided by Pavellini. Both an Italian and the primary Italian contributor, contributing Italian events to Third Reich events. And I say that because he's also primarily Italian, but he's contributed other stuff as well, not just Italian stuff. Okay. Okay, you guys just come out here and sort of naval strike. Now, what's good? Okay, full range. What's good about these kind of things is, I mean, these are Italian, I believe. So they're let's look at their models. No, that's Romanian. It's Latin, so I was thinking it was Italian, but it's Romanian. So their models are not up to some of the standards of the Luftwaffe, but they're still all right. And these are better quality, but what's sort of, I guess, really good is that if the naval bombers, these guys, spot something and start attacking it, the other guys will jump into it with their increased numbers, even if their attack. Let's take a quick look. I hope you're interested. I am wanting to do. Okay, sea attack is 6.6 for the Heinkel 111, and our naval bombers, current whatever this is, Junkers JU 192. I have no idea whether this is anything like what that model would have, but there's 19, so it's much better sea attack. But still, the others have sea attack. So hey, more bombers, better, and they have much better spotting capabilities, ranges, whatnot. Looks like we're going to get all of our ships out. Looks like, and all of our troops out. Though the ships are shot up badly. Okay, oh sure, you can have all the metal you want. You want more metal? Take it. Okay, and they are counterattacking us. Fine. That's why they're defending and they're advancing. We've already cut off supplies from that route, and we've cut off supplies, but we found they have pretty big supply source coming through here. But I'm hoping that we got, well, these guys are coming, good. And okay, hopefully relatively okay. Submarine attempt to cut off there. Too far away from the motor torpedo boats. Okay, there we go. Patrol aggressively. Go after. Any shipping comes in after our subs. How are we doing out here in India? Okay. Capital ship fire control systems improved. Okay, and grayed out. Well, since we're doing a lot of naval air, let's improve that up. We're still doing that, and that's good. Okay. Rebuild the 11th Undersea Boat Flotilla. Fine, good. That means that the one we had got munched. New industrial zone is ready. New industrial zone will appear on the map. In at least a +1 with your nation's core under your control and without an existing strategic resource. So that will help us, I believe. Okay, the FUG 220 Liechtenstein SN2 by late 43, the Luftwaffe starting to deploy a greatly improved FUG Liechtenstein operating lower frequencies, 90 megahertz, which was far less affected by electronic jamming, but this required a much larger Hirschwagen, I don't know, stag antlers, all these antenna around it. Antennas improvement in early 1944 led to newer versions with lower minimum range. Oh yeah, and it says like lower minimum range. You might think that's an issue. Well, if you're flying at night, you don't want to bump into what you're flying towards. You're, hey, there's a fighter in front of me or a bomber in front of me, and we're going to go shoot it down at night. You don't want to run into it, and also you want to be able to target it accurately. Again, from some of the reading, is at least in the early days when the night fighters didn't have any radar on them and they were using ground-based radar, they would, the ground base, would talk them in, tell them the, altitude. So, they're at 1,000 feet or 5,000 feet or whatever. And, a little more to the right, a little more to the left, or, or whatever is so you're at the right altitude, and then they would try to, home you in on it. And once you got close enough, what my understanding was with the British bombers, is you could see the flames coming out of the engines. So if you notice on some of the, or a bunch of the German night fighters, you'll find exhaust tubes that come off the engines, and I don't know if we can, if that's one of them there or whatever, and go like all the way to the back of the engine, or come back if there's a sort of a central engine type thing, come all along the fuselage to behind the wing, so that sort of working something of a muffler, maybe a bit muffler sound too, but I don't know if the other plane could hear you because it's already making enough noise, but definitely operating with a, you know, a muffler type system for the flames. So and that because they realized that, hey, the enemy gunners would see the flames coming off of your engines too at night. So I don't know if I don't remember seeing any British night bombers with, you know, with mufflers on their engines. But, you know, so once you're sort of that close, you sort of know it, and obviously if you're that close and you've seen it, you see where they are. But lower minimum ranges get you in there and be able to target them with radar and find them and that kind of thing. Okay, in July 1944, a newest version of the radar fell into Allied hands when fully equipped flew the wrong way on a landing beacon and landed in England by accident. This led to successful jamming of several frequency bands. Okay, yeah, and this was, you know, what they did, the Germans did for some of the homing type signals, is that they would send out 2 signals, and the pilots would fly along one of them and wait till they crossed the other signal at sort of its strongest, probably presumably just starting, you know, getting stronger, and then just as it starts to get weaker, across it, drop bombs. And that works for hitting a city or something, you know, something pretty big. The British, of course, would either try to figure out, or once they figured out what was going on, and listen in for the frequencies, and then start sending up other sources on that same frequency in other locations, so as to completely mess up their thing. So it worked for a while. Okay, aviation search radar gained 50. So that's before we hit that. Electronic aviation search radar, which is at 45. We're just going to do this so that we can see it's pretty good. So let's go hit that, and let's look at, and it's pushed us all the way over, so we've gone up a level of aviation search radar because of that. And of course we're going to take it off because it was already overly done, but that got us up over there, so we are doing really well there. Okay, and we can build more things. Well, now that we have a bunch of the text for these set up here and doing better, we're not going to stop these that were producing under the older ones, but we're going to come in, and since it's long lead time for heavy cruisers, let's do 3 of those, get those hulls laid down, and we can also do 3 light cruisers as well. So that will, and we'll just make sure that, because we may, you know, need to ramp up reinforcements or something, and I want to make sure I get those U-boats out and done with as quick as possible. We are also getting Port Sudan up done a little sooner. Okay. And these guys getting some organizational loss on our side, but now we're down to only 2 units here. The others must have shattered because don't appear to have just retreated. Well, for the moment, I think we're going to just sort of hold here. See, all those HQs, they're probably just retreating because they see this as a front line now. But we've got lots of units retreating. The Italians don't appear to be successfully like I say, appear to be successfully building up more ports. Yeah, I guess the AI just won't see that as a, hey, if we build a couple of more ports, we can flow a lot more supplies through. Okay, well, these guys made it back. Their ships got scratched up pretty, at least the Nautilus is pretty damn badly scratched up. We got them successfully out of, not a trap, but can't go anywhere because there's too low of infrastructure to get out. We can't build in Vichy territory, and not understood arcane rules of the game, because Iran here is still neutral. I was able to move from Iran into the Soviet Union, yes, at that time, but I couldn't move from still neutral Vichy into here. And I do know in previous games, when I had Axis Iran that was neutral, at least neutral versus the Soviets, I couldn't come across their border. And so I was emotionally, I hadn't necessarily got any, because the paratroopers, I have not been using them well. They've been sitting here and I just don't have a particular use for them. Maybe I should have dropped them into here. That would have been an idea. Don't know. But I am planning on going after the islands at some time, but I don't know if any of them are within long range. But from like here to here is definitely an airborne possible range. So we will see about using them. They'll get their use. But I was sort of prepared to either from this airbase or here or something parachute them in, get control of the province, and then you can move across from, you know, neutral to your control. You can do that. So maybe there's no Vichy airports or air bases around here. The Free French landed there. Down here, yeah, that maybe. Well, I could drop into there maybe. That might be an interesting operation for student. We'll see about that. Okay, Turkey, money for rare materials. Okay, well, we are now successfully increasing our money considerably, so alright, we'll do that. We need some rare materials. We will get a little bit in here, and a bunch more once we take here. Bunch more because of two factors. One, they do generate a fair amount, but two, they have been stockpiling for a long time, I believe, because I don't think they're trading away their rare materials. They're definitely not using them in whatever limited Belgian production there is. Oh, turn the clock back on. Okay, fighter ground crew training has advanced. Very good. Very good, and that we will go over to naval ground crew training. And our blueprints are stolen. Hopefully it was the friend. Okay, Schwer SS Abteilung. Yes, we'll take that. That's Set Dietrich's, the Liebstandartes symbol there. So yeah, that looks like SS. Stockpile big enough already. Even for oil right now, big enough. To where I am not at all like I need more. Sure, I always want more, but I don't need it. Okay. Okay, we've won the battle at Karachi. Well, very good. As soon as we get that, in comes the flood. We've got these guys up here. That's a lot of units. And these guys down here. That's another lot of units. And a few units over here. So we are ready to flood in to India. And these colonial guys are not going to bother us too much. Once we get Karachi. Okay, aircraft prototypes have advanced. Very good. Or carrier, carrier aircraft. Oh, that's this one here. Okay, and we're gonna let that continue because we got a bunch and we're bringing in more. So yeah, we'll let that one continue. Okay, we're going to try to keep this from going too long, so we're going to end the episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you for liking the videos. I really do appreciate that. And, of course, please post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas. Love hearing from you. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron. And let that save. Okay, and we're going to hit the stop button.